Hey, good morning. It's Jeremy, voiceover startup. And wow, haven't been on the channel in a long time, so I thought I'd try something new and exciting here. We're gonna we're gonna try and come on here every day. We'll see how this works, and talk about voiceover, and maybe share some tips, some things to inspire you if you're beginning your voiceover journey. So if you follow my channel, got several videos up, and this is kind of a fledgling channel. I have a full-time job. I have several podcasts that I work on. And so to be honest, I haven't given this channel the time I need to and would like to. So that's one of my goals, is I want to just do a better job of um, updating things on the channel. So my background, I started in radio in 1985, started as an intern at a local radio station. That internship worked into a full-time on-air position in 1986. I worked in commercial broadcast radio for about a decade. And from then I kind of moved on into other things and worked in a lot of sales and marketing positions. I've been in learning and development for about the last 20 years. And with the advent of the internet, and specifically platforms like Fiverr and Upwork and Freelancer, excuse me, I decided about 3 years ago, you know what? I miss the voiceover thing. And keep in mind, back in the 80s when I started, even into the 90s, if you actually wanted a career in voiceover, well, you'd have to live someplace like Chicago or LA or New York where there was an actual, voiceover market, right? Well, the internet has changed all of that. And so now there are opportunities for folks. Not just the internet, technology has changed all of that. The equipment you would have needed in the 80s or 90s to have professional voiceover product produced in your home would have cost you thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. Well, that's not the case anymore. For just a very minimal investment, you can produce professional quality voiceover, put up your shingle, and people will pay you to make voiceovers. And so I've been doing this for about 3 years. It's not my full-time job. It's been part of my full-time job for the past 2 decades, making e-learning and that sort of thing. So I've always kind of had a foot in the voiceover part. But since I put out my shingle, I typically as a freelancer make about $1,000 a month, right? Doing a few hours a week in something that I loved. I mean, I do it for free, to be honest. I can't tell my clients that. I narrate a number of YouTube channels. Like I said, I'm involved in several podcasts. My main podcast, my personal podcast, is Classic Guitar Rock. Now you can always check that out if you want to. So I have a passion for podcasting and for uh, just audio production and music, and so the internet's a wonderful thing. Technology is a wonderful thing that has allowed me to do this. And so what I do here on this channel is I share some things that I've done as I've started my freelance voiceover journey. Hopefully some of these things would be helpful to other people. That's my intent. And so I'm going to just come on here every day, and no one will watch probably. That's okay. But if you watch a recording and check that out, hopefully you will find that helpful. So let's talk about equipment today really quick, or what you would need to get started if you wanted to get into voiceover. First, before we even get into equipment, what do you need in terms of training? What kind of voice do you need? What's that all about? Could anyone do voiceover? Well, I'm going to tell you this. The most important skill you need as a voiceover talent, more important than your voice, is your ability to read. And when I say read, I don't just mean you know how to read. I mean, that's important. You got to know how to read. but to read with inflection, to sound natural, to be able to present whatever type of energy your client wants. They might want something that's high excitement. They might want something that's suspenseful. They might want something that's humorous, comical. So your ability to read and interpret is your most important asset. It's not your voice. People will often say, "Oh, I don't have the voice for." Guys, there are people that make money. They make a living doing voiceover that have just normal everyday voices. In fact, that's the norm now. The days of the big phony booming voice are over. And unless it's as a joke or a satire, right? But uh guys that hang on, responding really quick to this. Hang on. Um all right. So, that's one of the hazards of working from home, right? You're always working, even in the middle of doing a live stream, always working, right? Uh, where was I at? Oh, just normal voices, right? Normal, everyday voices of people that know how to read and interpret and present the type of energy that the client is looking for. Don't worry about your voice. That's the last thing you have to worry about is the actual voice. Now, sometimes people want a big booming voice, and there's not much you can do about that. But the majority of voiceover work, they just want people that sound real and natural. So if your voice has held you back and yet you're interested in doing voiceover, don't let that hold you back. There's so much work out there. And guys, here's what's super exciting. And we can thank the internet for this, right? There are so many platforms, so many places, companies, industries that need voices, that need voiceovers, that there's tons of opportunity out there. So don't let your voice hold you back. Just jump out there and get started. And that's what I'm going to cover every day when we check in here is some ideas that you could use, that you could put to work right away to start getting voiceover work. Now, I said we'd talk about equipment. What do you need? You need a mic. You need some type of USB interface. And you need some type of editing software. Well, here's the good news. The editing software I use is free. It's Audacity. Download Audacity, free download. You need a good mic. This mic is a good mic. This is an actual broadcast microphone. This is an EV RE27 that if you look in radio stations, chances are you'll see this mic or the RE20 all over the place. It's kind of been an industry standard for years and years. It's a great mic. It's a $500 mic. I didn't pay 500. I found one used at a pawn shop, $200. Okay. But you can find a mic that will get you started for less than $100, right? Probably $60, probably $40. You could find a mic that would get the job done. In fact, I don't have the actual mic here. It's in the other room. This is like a $40 mic. This is the Tascam TN80. I think it's $40. It's a great mic. This would be a great mic you could start with. Okay. You also need some type of USB interface. You're going to be working on a computer. So you need a way to convert your analog signal of your voice through your mic into a digital format, your computer. Now, you can get a USB mic. And there are some good USB mics. You can plug straight in with a USB mic, right? I recommend that you use what's called an XLR mic. An XLR mic is the traditional. I was trying to see if I got a cable end I could show you. Okay. So an XLR mic is the traditional, if I can unhook this here, is the traditional, here's two ends, right? This is a traditional XLR. Okay. There's an in and out for an XLR mic. They're better mics. Okay. You're going to get better quality using an XLR mic. And most professional voiceover folks you see, they don't use USB mics, they use XLR. And then you're using the XLR mic. You need some type of interface to convert your XLR, your analog signal, into digital. So I got a few. I'm just going to show you a few here. This is like, I don't know, $75, $80. This is a little Behringer. This is the Xenix Q502 USB. This is a little mixer that is also, notice the USB out here. It's also a USB interface. Now, what's cool about this is it's got some doodads, right? It's got compressor on it. It's got EQ. Notice there's just one input. This is like, for one person to use. And I use this a lot, and it's great. The EQ is helpful. The compression is nice. We'll talk about compression in eventually. But something like this, 70, 80 bucks. Also, I won't hold it up because I'm actually running through a Behringer Euphoria UMC22 USB interface. And it doesn't have compression. It doesn't have the EQ. It's literally like got volume. You plug in your mic, you got volume, and then it goes into your computer via USB. So and you can even, I bought this secondhand, $30. Okay. Go to pawn shops. Okay. Buy them used on eBay. Literally for less than $100, you could have everything you need to start doing voiceover. Less than $100. Okay. You get a few jobs, you'll pay for it in just a few weeks, whatever. Okay, so the other thing you might need to worry about is, and I've seen people stress about, you don't want echo, and okay, so you gotta do some things to your room. Basically, you don't want to be in an empty room that's real echoey, right? So things as simple as hanging blankets on the wall, right? If you get some little eggshell, on Craigslist, a local guy was selling a bag of the, I won't pull it off the wall here, but I've got the little acoustic foam just around my little desk here. I've got a full studio in there that I used to use. And to be honest, it was easier for me to bring it all out here because I do work stuff and my own stuff all at the same place. But I've got a full on, I built a little room and I got a little, excited. I actually framed in a room that's about 6x8. And then I've covered the whole thing with foam. You know what I did? I just went to Walmart and bought these little 1.5 inch pads of foam that you'd get like 6 for $10 or whatever. I bought enough to cover this top and the walls. And so it's a dead room, right? You don't get echo or anything. But even sitting out here, it's fine. Right. And sometimes if I have a big, long project, I'll move back in there, but I've moved my mic out here and everything. It's just easier for me to just do it right here. So minimal investment, okay, to get started. Now, tomorrow when we come on here, I'll talk about the first place you can go to get work, because there are some places you can hop right in and you'll be surprised at how quick you can get work. Now, what this has done for me, I started in 2017. I think started doing my voiceover. So I'm approaching 5 years now, or five years. I think it was in November of 17, and it's almost November of 23, right? So almost 5 years I've been doing it. Like I said, within about probably 3 months, I was making $300 a month. Okay. And then By the end of probably 9-10 months, I was making $1,000 a month. And I'll be honest, I haven't been very proactive about promoting myself in the voiceover work. I've been getting consistent stuff in. What happens over time is you'll get some regular repeat customers that will keep you pretty busy, right? I've got one channel that I usually do maybe 10 voiceovers a week for, $30 a pop. Okay, so you do the math. So some months I'm making $1,200 a month just from that one client. And then I said I make about that's an average 1,000 a month, but for about the last 3 months, I'm probably making more like 12 to 1,500 a month, and probably 60% of that is from one client right now. So there are opportunities out there. If this is something you've thought of, don't wait. Okay. I can even share specific things I could recommend that you order. Well, I kind of already did. Here's this again. The Behringer Xenix Q502 USB, great recommendation. That'll handle the little EQ and also the USB interface. And then the Tascam TM80, a great mic. You might have to get a cord. Go to a music store, buy a cord, 3-foot cord. This is like $40 on Amazon. Get that. And then Audacity, it's free download. That's all you need. Ready to go. And you need a laptop or a computer, a semi-modern computer, but you don't need a super heavy duty computer. I mean, I've just got a normal little Dell laptop. That's all you need. Anyways, we will talk more. I'm going to make this a daily thing. We'll do this every day. And looking forward to it. Bye-bye. Take care. Thanks for tuning in to VoiceOver Startup. Bye-bye.